Hey everyone, this is Sam and welcome to my channel. The game we'll be looking at today is going to be Ghost of Tsushima Legends Online version. So in this video, I'll be showing you my two-way fire Ronin build that you can use on Ghost of Tsushima Legends Online, and I guarantee you will dominate the new Rivals mode on this, because this Ronin not only can do a lot of damage on his own with fire, sword, and bombs, but at the same time it still carries the same strong healing that the Ronin class normally comes with. So essentially you're great on offense and you're great on defense. With this Ronin in hand, you'll be able to help your DPS teammate dominate, and if your teammate can hold up the DPS end, you can do it yourself. So I guarantee if you learn how to use this, wins consistently. So if you would like to play together, Ghost of Tsushima Online especially, you can add my PlayStation Network gamer tag right there. If you want to talk about other games or just games in general, you can add my Twitter right there at SamFam20. And if you'd like to see more build tutorials of me on Ghost of Tsushima, you can click on the card above or the link in the description below for my playlist on every build video I have made on this game. So before we look into the details of this build, let's just focus on what it's so good at. So with Rivals mode, you're going to need the correct attunement. And if you have the correct attunement with this build, because of your katana, it has every stance that's available to you. You can take down enemies really quickly one-on-one. Without the correct attunement, even if you're facing enemies with medium health, so I consider medium difficulty enemies, you have access to the Way of the Flame. And because of all the fire damage buff that this build comes with, you'll be also able to take down those enemies quickly. And when it comes to Oni enemies, you have a stronger weapon. You have a sticky bomb that comes with a lot of fire damage also, and even Oni enemies you can take one-on-one. And because you're so effective one-on-one, when you're fighting alongside your partner in Rivals mode, you also have weakening, where you can take your individual skills and weaken the enemy to make your teammate hit faster and more effectively. And to top everything off, you also gain resolve as you get hit. And if you're surrounded by enemies, you have a new ability where you can light everybody on fire, which further stacks your fire buffs. And if there's a medium distance, you can also go into bombs against larger groups. And you have concussion bombs, and at the same time, you also have fire bombs. So everything is just fire, fire, fire. So with the fire bombs, you throw those in, everybody is hurt. You hit very hard in a one-on-one situation, and you can kill quickly with weakening. And when you're surrounded by enemies, you also have the fire ability that also makes everybody easier to kill. Now, but because you're so involved in the fight, you're bound to get hurt. But when you're hurt, you can actually heal yourself very efficiently. The healing board here is extremely buffed, so you can get at least 70% of your health back. And your healing board comes back about every 90 seconds. So essentially, if you pace yourself correctly, you can attack in 90-second intervals where you can keep the damage you take as not that high. You'll be able to kill, gain a lot of resolve, and get all of your health back for the damage you take. And with all of that gain resolve, you can also use it to group heal. So you can heal yourself and your teammate in Rivals mode. And if you see a large group of enemies, you can still use the sticky bomb, and it can still hurt the big group with fire. So everything works with great synergy together, and you can see that play out entirely in this sequence. And I was able to dominate this Rivals match with my buddy Ace, who was a great DPS. And you can see we were able to win this relatively easily. And in this case, the attunement is not correct, but I was still able to take that enemy down because I had weakening. So that is also a big factor in our rival mode. Same thing here, we don't have the right attunement, but the weakening helps, so we can still take this guy down relatively quickly without leaving. There's the W right there with my main man Ace. And you can see as the stats play out, if I play with a great DPS like Ace, he'll get most of the kills, but I'll get my fair share and I can, keep him topped off. And in this instance, I was playing with a hunter, and you can see I was able to keep the entire team alive. Nobody went down. Everybody was topped up in health. He got his kills. I got my fair share. And with this one, we had two Ronins, and this build is so versatile. When I do need to do the DPS myself, you can see in this instance, I revived and did most of the damage, but we were still able to win. So let's take a look at the details of the build. Here are the techniques. So for the class ability, you would want to use the new one, the Flaming Raw. So when you activate this, it's going to light the surrounding enemies nearby you on fire. And for the next tree, you want to take the weakening burst, so that's going to make sure your enemies do less damage and take it more at a 25% rate. After that, you want to take the quick regen. That's going to help a lot with the healing gourd and also your heals after you cast the Tsunami with your free resolve. And with the Breath of Izanami, you want to give it Soothing Breath. So in Rivals mode, you really got to heal your teammate. So this is the best way to heal, you know, in range or short range or long range and bring them back. Now, in regards to your gear, make sure you get the Master's Katana. This will allow you to have every stance, and make sure you get one with Way of the Flame. The other two attributes up to you, but Way of the Flame is key. And then following that, make sure you grab a bomb pack that comes with Black Powder Bomb, and ideally one that gives you melee stagger damage buff. That's going to help with the Master Katana a lot, but Black Powder Bomb is key with the bomb pack. And then next you want to get a utility charm that gives you Fire Master. That's a must, and also fire damage buff. The stagger damage, that's really up to you, but fire damage and Fire Master, so now your fire is going to be extremely strong. And then you want to go with the sticky bomb that comes with fired up. That's a must. And then you also want to get it with cooldown reduction on kill. It goes weapon damage up to you, but make sure it's fired up and it's a sticky bomb. And lastly, you gotta get a healing gourd, and this one has to be strong brew, damage reduction, and injured resolve gain. This is your way of getting extra resolve and also keeping yourself alive and keeping your whole team topped off, so that's key. Now in this instance, you can see me using the two-way fire Ronin, and just we catch up. We're down here, right? My teammate was struggling to get kills in this game because he was also another Ronin. Like, we didn't have the best team. 2 Ronins is not ideal, but you can see understanding that situation, so I know I had to be kind of more of a DPS Ronin while still healing, and you can see this build can handle that if it's needed. So without a DPS, obviously it would be dominant. But you can see in this instance, my teammate goes down, and I did all of that damage, light everyone on fire, brings them back, and I still killed the tethered enemy. So this Fire Ronin can do that for your team and you. It can heal, it can legitimately heal and do a really good job, and also take on an only one-on-one here and do a legitimately an effective job. Now, it's obviously not going to be as good as a DPS as a samurai, but the fact that you can heal constantly, keep yourself alive, keep your teammate alive, and still debuff everybody down, and still help your team success. But you can see I like those 2 other guys on fire. I don't have the right attunement here, but it's too far to go get it. We'll lose the match, so I use my weakening. Combined with my teammate, we were able to take that enemy down. That's why weakening is big, especially in rifles mode, because sometimes you might not get the right attunement in certain situations. Now, in regards to the new abilities of the Ronin, I want to show it to you, and maybe we can add it in later, but so far I haven't figured out a way. Staggering Breath is kind of silly. I don't want to weaken people. I could just get a skill for that. Cure All, I actually tried it, but my Breath of Izanami heals other people anyway, so healing myself with Healing Gourd and passing that onto my teammate is not worth it. I'd rather take the extra regen myself. This one, though, it could be worth it. I can take away the weakening and then give myself an extra legendary weapon. I might grab that later, but when I can do that, I think I would switch out the sticky bomb and probably put in the extra legendary weapon as a spirit kunai. I just couldn't do it here because I locked it with my samurai, so I couldn't give it to my Ronin. But that's probably the direction I would head if I make some certain changes to this build. Anyway, so make sure you add my buddy Ace Dead Eater if you want a good DPS to play with. He's excellent. As always, thanks for coming by. Let me know if you guys enjoy this content. You can add me, we can play together, or you can add my Twitter, we can chat about games or future games or 2K. Because you guys, some of you know I'm about that 2K life. So as always, thanks for coming by, and I look forward to speak to a lot of you again, and keep an eye out for streams on Ghost of Tsushima Legends very soon.